My photo taste is the Pinterest because they are the best.
News organizations are also using fewer international reporters. This means that people around the world are not hearing many important stories. Christy Hagranis explained to Forbes magazine.
I founded GPI to create a new way forward for the decreasing field of international reporting. Most newspapers have closed their foreign offices. The few that remain cost a lot of money to operate. They are limited in their ability to write about anything other than war, disaster, poverty, and disease. The idea of GPI is simple: to train local people. They understand the social, historical, and political situation of a place. They can provide low-cost, high-impact news coverage for local and global readers.
Today, GPI has trained more than 130 women as reporters. The women are in 25 different countries around the world. The Global Press Journal publishes the women's stories. GPI also has more than 50 major international publishing partners. These news organizations share stories from GPI reporters. And they are having a very big effect. GPI reporting provides a wider way to see the world. People learn more about what is happening in other places. This awareness can even make people want to make changes in their communities. It also helps to keep open and honest communication between people in different countries. Paige Stoyer is the photo editor for GPI. In a GPI video, she says,
GPI is a change maker on many levels. It makes change globally because it is changing how international reporting works. It is also a change maker in the individual lives of the women that it trains and employs to be reporters.
GPI also provides fair pay for women who may not be able to make enough money doing other work. The women then use this money to help themselves and their families. They gain more power in the community. Manori Wijesakera is a GPI reporter in Sri Lanka. In a GPI video, she explains how reporting for GPI changed her life.
I think GPI sees the world very differently, and I value that. GPI has given me an identity, but much more than that. I think GPI has given me a sense that there is something out there that I can actually do. Something that I can work toward?
GPI is changing lives around the world. If you would like to read stories from GPI reporters, you can visit our website. You will find the link to the Global Press Journal there. We end our program with reporter Nakinti Nafuru from Cameroon. She tells GPI how it has made her life better.
GPI has turned my whole life around completely. It is like a total new life. I feel so special. I feel so grateful. I feel like a specialist thanks to my editors. Whenever I write a story, I am hoping to see comments. I am hoping to get responses from people. And when I see them, I feel so happy.
The writer of this program was Rena Dam. The producer was Luke Haley. The voices you heard were from the United Kingdom and the United States. All quotes were adapted for this program and voiced by Spotlight. You can find our programs on the internet.
My photo taste is the Pinterest because they are the best. Flick to link, a link to flick.
Let's do a little experiment. I want you all to hold your hand just like this, your finger, put it up, and I want you to draw a capital letter E on your forehead as quickly as possible. Okay, it turns out that we can draw this E in one of two ways, and this was originally designed as a test of perspective taking. I'm going to show you two pictures of someone with an E on their forehead, my former student Erica Hall, and you can see over here, that's the correct E. I drew the E, so it looks like an E to another person. That's the perspective taking E because it looks like an E from someone else's vantage point. But this E over here is the self-focused E. And we often get self-focused, and we particularly get self-focused in a crisis. I want to tell you about a particular crisis. A man walks into a bank in Watsonville, California, and he says, "Give me $2,000 or I'm blowing the whole bank up with a bomb." Now, the bank manager didn't give him the money. She took a step back. She took his perspective. And she noticed something really important. He asked for a specific amount of money. So she said, "Why did you ask for $2,000? And he said, "My friend's going to be evicted unless I get him $2,000 immediately." And she said, "Oh, you don't want to rob the bank. You want to take out a loan. Why don't you come back to my office and we can have you fill out the paperwork?" Now, her quick perspective taking diffused a volatile situation. So when we take someone's perspective, it allows us to be ambitious and assertive, but still be likable. Here's another way to be assertive, but still be likable, and that is to signal flexibility. Now, imagine you're a car salesperson and you want to sell someone a car. You're going to more likely make the sale if you give them two options. Let's say option A, $24,000 for this car and a 5-year warranty. Or option B, $23,000 and a 3-year warranty. My research shows that when you give people a choice among options, it lowers their defenses and they're more likely to accept your offer. And this doesn't just work with salespeople, it works with parents. When my niece was 4, she resisted getting dressed and rejected everything. But then my sister-in-law had a brilliant idea. What if I gave my daughter a choice? This shirt or that shirt? Okay, that shirt. This pant or that pant? Okay, that pant. And it worked brilliantly. She got dressed quickly and without resistance. When I've asked the question around the world when people feel comfortable speaking up, the number one answer is when I have social support in my audience, when I have allies. So we want to get allies on our side. How do we do that? Well, one of the ways is be a mama bear. When we advocate for others, we expand our range in our own eyes and the eyes of others, but we also earn strong allies. Now, another way that we can earn strong allies, especially in high places, is by asking other people for advice. When we ask others for advice, they like us because we flatter them and we're expressing humility. And this really works to solve another double bind, and that's the self-promotion double bind. The self-promotion double bind is that if we don't advertise our accomplishments, no one notices, and if we do, we're not likable. But if we ask for advice about one of our accomplishments, we are able to be competent in their eyes, but also be likable. And this is so powerful. It even works when you see it coming. There have been multiple times in my life where I have been forewarned that a low-power person has been given the advice to come ask me for advice. And I want to notice three things about this. First, I knew they were going to come ask me for advice. Two, I've actually done research on the strategic benefits of asking for advice. And three, it still works. I took their perspective, I became more invested in their cause, I became more committed to them because they asked for advice. Now, another time we feel more confident speaking up is when we have expertise. Expertise gives us credibility. Now, when we have high power, we already have credibility. We only need good evidence. When we lack power, we don't have the credibility, we need excellent evidence. And one of the ways that we can come across as an expert is by tapping into our passion. I want everyone in the next few days to go up to a friend of theirs and just say to them, I want you to describe a passion of yours to me. I've had people do this all over the world, and I ask them, what did you notice about the other person when they described their passion? And the answers are always the same. Their eyes lit up and got big. They smiled a big, beaming smile. They used their hands all over. I had to duck because their hands were coming at me. They talked quickly with a little higher pitch. And they leaned in as if telling me a secret. And then I said to them, what happened to you as you listened to their passion? And they said, my eyes lit up. I smiled. I leaned in. When we tap into our passion, we give ourselves the courage in our own eyes to speak up, but we also get the permission from others to speak up. And tapping into our passion even works when we come across as too weak. Both men and women get punished at work when they shed tears. But Lizzie Wolfe has shown that when we frame our strong emotions as passion, the condemnation of our crying disappears for both men and women. I want to end with a few words from my late father that he spoke at my twin brother's wedding. And here's a picture of us. My dad was a psychologist like me, but his real love and his real passion was cinema, like my brother. And so he wrote a speech for my brother's wedding about the roles we play in the human comedy. And he said, the lighter your touch, the better you become at improving and enriching your performance. Those who embrace their roles and work to improve their performance grow, change, and expand the self. Play it well, and your days will be mostly joyful. And what my dad was saying is that we've all been assigned ranges and roles in this world. But he was also saying the essence of this talk. Those roles and ranges are constantly expanding and evolving. So when a scene calls for it, be a ferocious mama bear and a humble advice seeker. Have excellent evidence and strong allies. Be a passionate perspective taker. And if you use those tools, and each and every one of you can use these tools, you will expand your range of acceptable behavior, and your days will be mostly joyful. Thank you.
Flick to link, link to flick. My photo taste is the Pinterest because they are the best.
News organizations are also using fewer international reporters. This means that people around the world are not hearing many important stories. Christy Hegranis explained to Forbes magazine.
I founded GPI to